Dear friends, today I want to tell you that I suspect that the interpreters in some Glasgow law firm work in disadvantage of the gap between the persecuted Chinese who don't understand English and the defense lawyers who don't understand Chinese, and passing the wrong information between the lawyers and the clients, preventing the real persecuted Chinese from getting asylum. Today I will tell you how I discovered this problem. First of all, I want to tell you that my English is not good, but I can speak simple English because I liked American dramas when I was young. Although they were American dramas with Chinese subtitles, they trained my listening skills. So my English listening skills are better than my expression, so I discovered this problem of the interpreters in the two Glasgow law firms I visited. In fact, I'm very sure that these interpreters have no professional ethics, but because I have no recordings and no evidence, I can only say that I suspect it. Next, please watch the short video I made with AI to understand that whole experience.
First, I went to the first lawyer's office, where the staff was very nice. They greeted me warmly and told me to go back and contact me later with the exact time I would be meeting my lawyer. A few hours later, I got a call from a female translator. She started off aggressively asking me, why did I apply for legal aid? When did I apply for political asylum at the Home Office? Then I told her that I applied for political asylum on January 25, 2023 at the Ministry of the Interior. The first thing I did when I applied for legal aid was to change my working status because the Ministry of the Interior stipulates that after 1 year of asylum it is possible to work in shortage professions as defined by the government. Then the interpreter immediately repeated and told me, I never knew that the Home Office had such a rule. I told her, if you don't know, you can go to the website and look it up. And then the interpreter would tell me, when you come here, you should bring Home Office's documents about change work status. Then the interpreter asked me like a prisoner, how do you know the governor of Shandong province? Why did the governor of Shandong province want to hurt you? At this point, the interpreter's tone was not one of question, but of doubt and questioning. And I immediately retorted to her by saying, why do I feel that you are doubting me? You are on the side of the person who hurt me. Then she had a better tone and told me when we would meet the next day. It also told me that perhaps another interpreter would translate it to me the next day. When I went to a law firm the next day, I saw that my lawyer was very serious and said very little, but the interpreter kept saying a lot, and her said many something that made me discouraged. But what really made me angry and felt that something was wrong was that the interpreter told me, I can't contact a lawyer, I have to tell her everything first, including all the things I wanted to say when I went to the Ministry of the Interior for a second meeting. She seems to have become a lawyer, but she doesn't even know when the Home Office can change the work status of refugees. At this time, I was very disgusted, and I told her, if I can't contact a lawyer and can only contact her this translation, then I must cancel my legal aid application. Because what I need is a lawyer, not a translator to handle my case. At this time, she changed her mind and said, I can contact a lawyer, and as long as I sign this document, I can get legal aid. The interpreter also told me at the time that I needed a person with a status residence permit in the UK to prove that I didn't have any income in the UK, and I told her I would find a way. Then she told me that my daughter could also write proof for me, and then she asked me for my daughter's contact information several times, which made me even more uneasy. Because I never told my daughter about me, I didn't want her to be involved in this complicated political event. I just want her to concentrate on completing her studies. Later, I didn't know what the interpreter said to the lawyer, but the lawyer suddenly became angry. But from the beginning to the end, I have always respected this lawyer. In the end, I did not apply for legal aid to this law firm. I used translation software to tell the staff of the law firm the reason, and then I clearly knew that I could keep in touch with the lawyer, and I didn't need to translate all my information. And the staff of the law firm patiently persuaded me to stay. In fact, I also think the staff of this law firm are very good, but I really can't believe their translations. This law firm is not well managed by their translations. The translation conveyed to me the first time we met false information, such as I can't contact a lawyer myself, I have to report to her first, etc., and she wants to contact my daughter. Who knows what will happen in the process of future asylum cases? And looking at the status of these two translations, it is not the first time they have concealed the truth, lying and deceiving the client and lawyer. Later, I went to a second law firm, and the staff there immediately arranged the lawyer for it. The lawyer carefully checked my documents. The female interpreter also helped me communicate with the lawyer normally, so I signed the document to apply for legal aid at this law firm. I also exchanged WhatsApp with the interpreter contact information. I sent her the report of the persecution of arsenic poisoning by Zhou Neixiang, the governor of Shandong province, and my experience of being persecuted in the UK. I hope she will help me forward it to the lawyer. But when I met the lawyer for the second time, I felt that the translation was wrong in some places, but because my English was not good, I didn't say my thoughts. Until this interpreter made an obvious mistake that should not appear at all, that is, when the lawyer asked me when I had time to go to the law firm next time. I told the interpreter that I did not have a job, and I had time to go to the law firm at any time. But she told the lawyer that I only have time to go to the law firm after 6 p.m. every day. The lawyer looked at me in disbelief, and I immediately told the interpreter that she turned the translation as wrong. She explained, I am telling the lawyer when I have time. But the lawyer is obviously asking me not to ask her. I contacted the interpreter on WhatsApp when I came back and asked her why, and told her that I don't trust her anymore because the law firm gets off work at 5 p.m. every day, and if the lawyer believes her, the lawyer will think of my time and his work. There was a conflict between them and could no longer continue to defend me. She said that she would not be an interpreter for me next time, so the third time I met a lawyer, she called a male interpreter as instead of her.
The content of my meeting with a lawyer this time is to review the content of the first meeting with an internal official, and the lawyers asked to some of my things in China. This male translator told me that I can change every content of my first interview with domestic officials, but about the main content of my persecution by Shandong Governor Zhou Neixiang, he said that passing by is not important. I found out that he deliberately translated this error for me. When the lawyer asked about my occupation and what awards I won, I told the lawyer I participated in the first and second prizes of the Lixia District Public Course respectively, but the interpreter told the lawyer that this is not open collective competition because the open and no open words are too easy to distinguish, and I found his mistakes to be intentional. I told him after the interview that I still can't trust him, but he told me that if I want to change the translation, I need the first female translator to give me consent. I don't understand. The translator has the right to decide who my interpreter is in a law firm. It's the case of an interpreter with no professional ethics that I encountered in Glasgow's to law firms. Don't think that these mistakes of the interpreter are trivial. Interpreters deceive each other between lawyers and client, so that victims who really need shelter cannot be protected. Not only violates professional ethics, but also interferes with judicial justice. But the question is, who made these translators do such illegal things? To be honest, the Chinese government cannot control the Chinese who already have British nationality, but the Chinese government can control the translations of these Chinese people through British's C. Corrupt official or leader use various coercion and temptation. This is another experience I met about translation in the UK. The corruption in the UK is really serious, and I hope the British people will be aware of this and find a way to save their country from the control of corrupt officials.